Pets provide incredible social, emotional, and physical health benefits to their human family members. This is especially true for people with memory issues, like Ruben Sr. As a veteran with dementia, his beloved dog Jenny is his whole world. When everything else seems confusing and scary, Jenny is there to keep him grounded in the present moment.
I'm not a war vet or anything, but my family is, and so I know like there's specific connections that they have when they do come home, and I believe Jenny is one of those. When you have close connections with people and you come back from somewhere, those things are extremely more important to you than anything than they ever were, just because there's some type of bond there that I don't know, because I've never done that, but my dad has. And this dog is definitely one of them.
Every day, Ruben and Jenny go for a walk through their neighborhood. They don't go far and they don't go fast, but they always enjoy each other's company. One day on their daily walk, a neighbor's dogs escaped from their yard and attacked sweet Jenny, grabbing both of her front legs and pulling in opposite directions. Desperate to save his best friend, Ruben tried to pull the dogs away and ended up with major damage to his hands. Ruben's wife Rose and neighbors who heard the attack managed to get the dogs off Jenny, but not before she had suffered extensive injuries.
Basically, it looked like the dogs had grabbed her and tried to rip her apart like a turkey. Like they were splitting her legs, they were just dangling. I remember my mom saying after they got some dogs off of them, Jenny dragged herself to the backyard to just go hide. You know, obviously couldn't walk on her front feet, so she was, and that's where all this blood is at. It was just bad. They looked like they were just sitting there by skin. It didn't look like anything else was holding them on. Yeah, I mean, it was not a pretty sight, and you could tell she was in pain. I mean, it's almost like watching your dog cry, and there's nothing you can do about it.
While family members took Ruben Sr. to the emergency room, Ruben Jr. bundled Jenny up in blankets and rushed her to an emergency vet. But their nightmare was just beginning. To begin treatment, Ruben needed to pay thousands of dollars up front, money they simply didn't have.
I called my mom, I called my sister, I wrote a post on Facebook, and I just kind of scrambled to see where this money would be. You know, I had like $900 in my account, my dad had some in his, I had some in savings, I guess some in Venmo. Like, I basically just moved everything I had into one, and it wasn't enough, but I knew I could still write them something and the check would probably bounce, but at least they would start working on her.
Across the valley, thousands of families find themselves in this situation, with veterinarian costs they cannot afford. It's one of the reasons the Arizona Pet Project started its shelter intervention program, ensuring sick and injured pets can receive treatment and stay with the families who love them.
So after we made the post and people were donating, someone from the Arizona Pet Project showed up, and it happened to be a friend of mine, and I had no idea she worked for them. And she showed up to where I was at with the dog and just said it's gonna be okay, she was gonna figure out how to help me, and then went inside and she talked to the vets and then came back out and said, okay, you're okay for now. They're gonna work on her and, you know, just relax and we'll talk about what's gonna happen next.
Once Jenny was stable, the Arizona Pet Project transferred her to one of their vet partners, Palm Glen, for her follow-up care. She was not out of the woods, and if they could save her life, she would need months of rehabilitation. The vet staff changed her bandages and cleaned her wounds every day, desperate to save at least one of her front legs. Being separated from her family wasn't just hard on Jenny.
Well, my dad didn't know what was going on, so we picked him up, told him we were gonna go get lunch. And, you know, the whole way he's just like, Jenny, Jenny, Jenny. And I'm like, she'll be fine, you know, you'll see her soon. And so we pull up to the animal hospital. He still doesn't really know where we're at, and we're just sitting there in the truck, and the girl knocks on the door. He looks and she looks, and the door opens, and he just starts crying because he didn't know he was going to see his dog that day. And Jenny tried to jump out of the girl's arms into the truck, and it was a lot of emotions for, I think, everyone to see her and see my dad and know that she was going to be okay.
Jenny is happy and home with her favorite person, enjoying walks, car rides, and lying in the sun. And to the two of them, all is right in the world again. For your tremendous will to live and the joy and healing you bring a veteran, Jenny, you are our hero.